Born in the United States of America, a melding of both African and European percussive dance traditions, tap dance enjoyed immense popularity in American theater, Hollywood movie musicals, and nightclubs around the country in its early history. Declared dead in the 1950s because of a dramatic shift in cultural tastes, a revival began in the 1970s because of eager enthusiasts, a nostalgic Broadway, and the popularity of Gregory Hines. I met tap dance in 1983. I was 3 years old, taking lessons in a local dance studio. It was just a social activity, something for me, an only child, to do with other kids. And then I saw the movie Tap, starring tap dance legends Sammy Davis Jr., Gregory Hines, and Savion Glover. It was the first time I'd seen tap dance as a form of self-expression, something I'd never experienced in all my years of dancing school, and I wanted to do that. My life goal was to meet everybody in that movie, and within 2 years, I met both Hines and Glover. They would take me under their wings and even introduce me to their mentors. I became part of the storied oral tradition upon which tap dance is built, and ever since have pursued tap dance as a vehicle of self-expression and, in turn, self-discovery.
This is the hammered dulcimer. Originally an instrument from Persia, you can find this instrument in about a dozen different cultures around the world. The Germans and Irish brought it to the United States in the 1800s, and that's pretty much what it's primarily used for today, American folk music and Irish music. I saw this instrument when I was 2 years old. I was at an art opening, and as a 2-year-old, little toddler, sat right here, just completely and totally mesmerized. There was something about the sound. This warmth. This beauty. And it took me in. A couple years later, I was 6 years old, and I saw it again at a folk festival in Chicago. Shortly thereafter, I started playing. After about 10 years, I started to look at music from around the world, eventually finding music from Senegal, West Africa. I heard a family of musicians. I was 19. They play an instrument called the kora. A kora is a predecessor to the harp, a 21-string West African instrument made out of a gourd. The music was fascinating. It was vibrant. It was colorful. It was completely orchestral. For the next 5 years, I would travel back and forth between New York and Dakar and try to apply the music I learned from their tradition onto my own instrument. A little while later, I eventually started to look at instruments that were more similar to the dulcimer, eventually finding the santur, the Indian form, the original form of the instrument. I got a grant from the American Institute of Indian Studies, moved here to Mumbai, studied Indian classical music with Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma. What I found was that the more I studied and the more I played, in order for me to really find my own true sound, I had to look outside of myself.
When Max and I first met, we didn't know what to expect. I'd never heard of the hammer dulcimer before.
And I see tap dance, I'm like, okay, cool, some Hollywood musicals, I guess? But a mutual friend of ours was so enthusiastic that we decided to give it a shot.
Upon our first encounter, I was caught by the resonance of the instrument. The sounds Max was able to create, I had never experienced before.
Playing with Andrew is like playing with a master percussionist. You know, he has improvisation, he listens, he has immense power. And every time we got together after that, we just decided to keep going at it. And every subsequent visit, we learned more about each other as musicians and as people.
In retrospect, our collaboration really shouldn't work. Tap dance is primarily a solo, performative art form.
And even with my forays into new genres of music, the instrument is still a pretty obscure American folk instrument.
It was a moment of acceptance that allowed us to be open. We could have easily stayed on our own personal journeys, wrapped up in our histories, our own cultures, and our own individual narratives, but we chose not to.
You know, because when we listen to disparate voices and break down and push past boundaries, we have the opportunity to really create a new world that can be filled with beauty, truth, and kindness.
This is what we've found.